Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today I want to provide some feedback on the first quote-unquote issue or problem that I am experiencing with my 2018 Subaru WRX. Now, it's not necessarily a big issue. It's just something that I want to share with you guys and offer some of my input and feedback on, and hopefully it'll answer some of your questions. So on the odometer, my 2018 Subaru WRX is about at 7,800 miles. And recently I noticed there are a little bit of rust on my discs on all four of my wheels. And I just want to reassure you guys that if you're new to the ownership of a Subaru, that this is a very common issue. And I honestly don't know why it occurs. I feel like given the type of materials that Subaru build their vehicles with, it may come off as cheap. So it's a common issue, so I just want to reassure you guys that it's not a big issue. It'll go away, through your daily usage and braking and such. However, if your vehicle is used or a lot older and you do see that, keep an eye on it. It may potentially be a problem. So if it is rust, if it is actual rust, you will need to replace it. But for those of you guys who have a fairly new Subaru and you see a little bit of rust, it's not a big issue. It'll go away. It's perfectly fine. The second issue pertaining to my wheels are that my brakes are squeaky. So they tend to squeak in the mornings or usually when it's really, really cold. And so again, this is also a very common issue. If you have a WRX or an STI with upgraded brakes, like the Jurid brake pads, or if you have the Brembos, you're more prone to squeaking as well. This is actually my first time seeing or experiencing a base model WRX with squeaks, but again, it's completely normal. After the brake pads warm up a little bit, after a few stops, the squeaking goes away. It is a little unsettling when you're driving in the morning and your first few stops you hear, but yeah, that's my first quote-unquote issue with the car. Other than that, everything else is perfectly fine. My ownership is kind of bland and boring. I'm just offering you guys a lot of feedback. This vehicle pretty much just sits in the garage during the, 9-10 months now of ownership. Most of its life has been sitting in the garage. And I believe the reason why there was a little bit of rust on my discs is due to me leaving my WRX outside. And so I left my vehicle outside for a week and a half, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, when it was raining fairly heavily in California. This was a little bit after the fires and such like that. So I purposely left my WRX outside in the rain to test out the SubiSpeed product that I was reviewing, that I made a video on, the louvers and the visors. So I think because of that, all that water kind of just seeped into the brakes and the wheels and such, and caused a little bit of rust. So yeah, that's essentially my first issue with the WRX. Everything else is perfectly fine. Mechanically, there's no issues. This vehicle is treating me very, very well. And I know that some of you guys are fearful of Subarus because they don't have that good of a track record. But this is mainly due with the EJ motors. But I believe that if you maintain your vehicle very well and you're not thrashing it every single day, it'll last a perfectly good, long, and healthy life. So yeah, this wraps up my video. So if you guys have any questions, comment down below or send me an email directly. But with that, don't forget to subscribe if you're new.